Yo, I don't know if you noticed. Whoa, 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 whoa. I have to. You thought we had the best intro ever last week. That was the best intro ever. Today we're going to have fun on Monday. We're talking about a massive Chinese car show. Massive. Big garages where EVs are too heavy and starships. Sometimes I read the headline and I'm like, what would we have thought if we read this?
I know. I'm always going to toss it back to 2010 and be like, read this. What do you think?
Dude, even 3 years ago, some of these headlines were starships, right. AI, right? Electric vehicles. Even 3 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
What are we doing?
When the regular morning news, when I'm on my run, has a 15 minutes worth that solely talks about AI, things got weird.
Dude, things got weird. Because then if you backed it up a little bit and you threw like pandemic in the mix, it's like pandemic, AI, starships, electric vehicles, we would be like, something got weird. Something got weird. No, without a doubt. without a doubt. Well, welcome to Monday. I know a lot of the country had an amazing, beautiful weather weekend. And so that always makes makes the vibes a little bit better. There's just so much moving forward in this shift from, fall or winter to spring in the auto industry. There's just like this energy, the flowers are blooming, the things are going, and it just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like we're all in on April.
It feels like pollen's all up in your nose, just normal things.
See, for all of its weather issues, we just really don't have massive pollen issues in upstate New York.
See, in Nashville, I don't know if you knew this. When we moved here, all of a sudden, my wife and I started having allergies again. And we went to the doctor and we were like, what's happening with our allergies? And they were like, oh, no one told you? Nashville's basically like this little basin where dust just settles. We're like, what? What?
No way.
Yeah, that's what
did not know that. Did not know that. Well, there's no dust settling around no dust settling around the Asotaverse. We're looking forward to our next event in Tampa in just like 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks in it now, right? Less than 2 weeks.
We got 2 weeks from Tuesday? 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Let's go.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
We got the premiere of More Than Cars, our TV show style docuseries that we got a little preview this morning of on the edit. And I think everybody's going to want to be there that night because it looks so good. It's like snaps. So that's all you got for that.
I know. Before you know it, we're going to be fielding calls from Discovery Network.
Oh, my goodness.
We're like, sorry, Chip and Joanna Gaines. We understand, but there's a line. There's a process for these inquiries, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going there. So we do hope you join us. We're also gearing up. We'll talk more about this. We're going to be in Las Vegas for the Reuters event. Tomorrow, I'm going to be wheels up, spending some time at the Kane Friends and Family event, able to make it happen. We were trying to both be there. It can't always work. But I'll be on the ground repping Asotu on Wednesday. So if you're going to that, please come and say hi. I would love to see you, talk to you, hang out a little bit, and see what this Kentucky hospitality is all about.
There you go.
I have a feeling that David Kane puts on a very hospitable event.
Yep. Speaking of events.
Woo!
Segue.
Time. Well done.
Monday morning. Here we go.
So if you thought the NADA show was big, think again. The Shanghai Auto Show 2023 is set to showcase the intense competition in the EV market. Global and Chinese automakers unveiling more than a dozen new models, and the trade show floor, we'll call it a small continent. It's 1.5 million square. Oh, you're about to say feet. Like, that's not so bad. No, meters. Dude, this is 16 million square feet. To size this up a little bit, the NADA show, which got us all tired and exhausted and our feet hurting, was a measly 3.2 million square feet. So just think about that for a second. 5 times this.
Do that in its head.
It's more than 6, 7, 8. I know.
You need like a full Segway or scooter to get around that thing.
Oh, you need like an air train, like in the Atlanta airport. I wonder how big the Atlanta airport is. But But for real, so it's that big. The big deal is the Chinese government has been winding down subsidies and shifting to incentives to incentivize automakers to require them to get like credits for EVs. So government used to subsidize the adoption. And one of the big pushes here is the Chinese government wants to be a pioneer in EV technology. They see an opportunity to really grab a command of the market. So they're really kind of like forcing an all-in EV approach. China's BYD Auto, who wants to overtake Tesla for the title of the world's best-selling luxury maker or EV maker, will reveal, check this, a U9 supercar that accelerates from 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. So like Tesla Model S competitor for sure. What? 1 point, it's like 2.
That's
like
moving
60 miles an hour. And here's a quote, and then we'll just jam into it for a minute. Industry analyst John Zhang of LMC Automotive says consumers lost interest in gasoline cars. That's the biggest challenge for foreign brands. If they want to compete in China, they're going to have to show their best EV product. So I don't know that customers lost,
that's an interesting statement. I'll jam on that for just a second because, and maybe that's the Chinese market. I don't know that market, obviously.
It's not. I looked it up. They sold like 24 million cars last year, and like 4 were EV. So
yeah,
I don't think
so.
lost it.
The juxtaposition of me reading over the weekend that there is an intense growth in the amount of like high dollar sales at auctions for gasoline vehicles. Is this like, hey, people are worried that these things are starting to go and may not be available, and like instant classics are coming around. So that's an interesting thing. It's also like there was also a note in some news this morning that China and Japan are really battling in this race to who's going to win their home turf EV races. Yet we see that most of the American manufacturers are pushing very, very hard, and they're going to be present at these shows in Asia. And so it's like it's a global race to EV dominance, and I think that's really what's gonna like that's the boundary push right now. It's not the consumer boundary, it's more the like who's first to dominance and who kind of like beats Tesla first is kind of the question. So lots of movement. It'll be interesting to see like all the photos and all the videos and all the stuff coming out of the show. We'll try and keep everyone updated on that.
There's definitely one other quote in the article that didn't make it into the show notes. Was somebody, I think it was a Chinese automaker, saying that non-Chinese EV makers have to really step it up because they're behind. It said like 3 to 4 years in technology, in features and battery range. I don't think I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything that actually shows that that's true. But 3 to 4 years behind already. In like, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think everyone's got like a serious that bad. Who knows? But hey, it's happening, and we'll see what consumer demand can actually do, and whether or not we can actually pull this whole thing off. There are a lot of people that don't want to, so we'll see what happens. So speaking of pulling off like some kind of engineering feats, we'll go that way. So an article from Automotive News is highlighting a report from the British Parking Association. You never thought we would cover the British Parking Association.
We got a British Parking Association.
But here we go, doing it. I feel like we should put on an accent for this, so I get our friends at Reuters. That raises the caution flag over whether or not
that was British, but okay, keep going.
Totally British. I can do a great British accent. I don't know. There's a little something in there. And so basically, the article, the British Parking Association raised a caution flag on whether or not older parking garages can actually hold up to the weight of EVs. Chris Wapples, a structural engineer, told The Telegraph, I don't want to be too alarmist, but there are definitely, I want to read this in a British accent so bad. I don't want to be too alarmist, but there definitely is the potential for some of the early car parks in poor condition to collapse. He's like, I don't want to be an alarmist, but the whole thing could come down. Operators need to be aware of electric vehicle weights and get their car parks, he means car parking garage, assessed from a strength point of view and decide if they need to limit weight. So for comparison, Tesla Model S, which is,
I see what you mean. Like if you're going to say car parks, you kind of want to say car parks or something like that.
Well, that was a little Boston.
That was Boston.
Car parks. But that is, you should call, if you're in Boston, a parking garage should definitely be called a car pack.
Without a doubt. A car pack.
Bring it over out of the car pack. This is great. This is great today. I love this Monday
morning. Here we go.
So a Tesla Model S is 5,000 pounds. right? And that's a 4-door sedan. That weighs more than most full-size F-150s on the market today.
Golly.
A new EV Hummer or big SUV can get close to 10,000 pounds. That is 5 tons.
Wow.
As opposed to like, a regular four-door sedan could come in like 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. So we're talking about a massive, massive weight difference. And again, one of these other things, not to mention like, hey, when they install some chargers and some inverters and all that, going to add more weight if they do that. So again,
you add the chargers, then you multiply 2,500 pounds times 2, right? Let's just say we're 100% electric, like double the weight on that concrete. It wasn't engineered to be that way, especially older concrete and things that may have deteriorated. I see that's some insight from the British Parking Association. They're looking forward. And this is probably something that is going to come up over time. And we've already talked about this with roads, right? Nashville roads aren't even fit for the cars that are already on them. And now you're going to have vehicles that are 2 times as heavy rolling across them all the time. You're going to have these divots and all that. So whether it's roads or parking garages or parking lots, this is going to be a conversation that we're going to keep having as more and more EVs come into the market.
The infrastructure isn't just the chargers, apparently. All right, let's talk about some
speaking of lots of engines.
Oh my God!
Stop. Segway
time. Wow, this is just too cool.
SpaceX is attempting to launch the first test flight of their fully integrated Starship and super heavy, that's how super heavy rocket from the look at that.
We could have planned that
again. Throw the picture up again. Let's analyze this real quick.
That's a real picture, by the way. That is no AI generated concept
of a full-size rocket that looks like it's just going to overtake the land all around it. They're going to be.
And if you can't see this, it looks like Dr. Evil created a spaceship and put it on top of a double stacked milk stainless steel silo. That's the best I can do.
Right. The HQ named Starbase in southern Texas near Boca Chica Beach today will be launching this. There's about a 2-hour window that it has to go off. Over the weekend, Elon Musk tweeted, "Success? Maybe. Excitement guaranteed." He was quoted as saying, basically, it's about a 50% success rate, but that thing could throw off a lot of fireworks. It's the biggest rocket ever built, which stands at 40 stories tall, potentially capable of carrying 250 tons of payload and 100 people to outer space.
Crazy.
Here's the interesting.
You get on a spaceship with 100 people.
Here's the wild thing, Paul, is this is the first fully stainless steel spaceship, which a lot of engineers have said, hey, look, we're never doing that because of the massive weight that it carries. And so that's kind of like hey, will this work or will it not? Elon Musk has a big desire to send people to Mars, to get people to the moon again, and to become an interplanetary species. And in his words, preserve the light of consciousness.
Oh man, it's so that's not the opposite of AI, I guess. I couldn't help but thinking when we were looking at this article and jamming on it, is that I don't know how many other people are so ambitious and have their mind set on things like preserving the light of consciousness and turning us into an interplanetary species. All of a sudden, it just makes charging capacity of an EV battery seem I'm how do you, this guy's just thinking on this whole different plane
let me put that up against something else. It's one day, largest spaceship ever, interplanetary, preserve the light of consciousness. Next day, Twitter is now X.
Yeah. Next day, look at this big windshield wiper on a Cybertruck. So I mean, this is one of those ships it's designed to be reusable. So it's going to be the ones that are launched today are going to splash down, not be reusable. But aside from this, they're going to land on their own and then be reused. Elon has said in the past, you wouldn't throw out a jetliner that you spent a ton of money after single use, and they've proven they can land rockets back on the pad. So it'll be interesting to see this first commercial mass space, not even just commercial, it's a vehicle can carry 100 people into outer space. I don't know. The comments are coming in. Wild. Tony Owen says, I don't get it. Why would people want to go to Mars? I don't know.
No clue why.
Maybe just to get in the news. Maybe they just send people to Mars just so you can get in the news and not have to brand your electric car company. I don't know what that is.
What a Monday.
All I do know is if we're not ready for Monday after that, I don't know what is. So whatever you're going today, let's just bring it back to the basics. And that is people, people, people. More than cars, people.